Good morning. We are taking off a little early, not a lot early, but a little early. Try to get more miles while it's cool. So we stayed at a little campsite last night that was more established than some of them we usually stay at. Had a bear box, which is nice. Just got to throw our food in there, so we don't have to worry about the bears. Apparently up north here there's a little more bear activity. But it was a little ways off the path, about 1/10 of a mile, so we're hiking back now, trying to get back onto the PCT. Not very far though. And yeah, that's about it. There was a little creek running by, so we had water right there. So it was nice and handy other than the little hike in. So anyway, sun's just starting to kind of brighten things up barely, create a glow. Yeah, we're going to be climbing the rest of the way up this mountain today. Maybe, I think we got almost exactly halfway. We'll be climbing the rest of the way up, and then we'll start back down. The sun will be up soon. I have not seen a bridge like this before. Just one big, huge log. There you go. Simple and effective. Well, here we are at Rainy Pass, which until just a few days ago was also closed for a different fire. So you had to actually start right around here and do a road walk down. I don't know exactly what you had to do anyway. Road walk down there into a town called Mazama, and then back up the other side, and I don't know. And you could walk around the whole area and get back on trail. But just a few days ago, while we were on trail, they reopened this section, so now we're able to do it. And this little road walk is just very short, and it's just part of the trail. So, well, we haven't had very many views since we've gotten on here yesterday, but there's a nice one. Well, we've had to hike almost 25 miles, but we finally got up where we can see a really good view. Beautiful. And we're almost to the top of our first big mountain that we started yesterday. Oh boy, now that we've ascended to this height, we are just seeing all sorts of magnificence every time we turn the corner. Well, we were just hiking along here, just starting our downhill. We've got a long downhill to go now to kind of almost to end our day. We might do a little bit of uphill at the very end, but we've got a long way to go downhill now. Anyway, we were just starting that and met a gentleman who was kind of sitting in the shade, chilling out. Talked to him for a couple of minutes, and all of a sudden I realized that I knew him somehow, and I couldn't remember how. So I asked him what his name was. His trail name is Maximus, and I'm nearly certain that I've mentioned him once, if not twice, in these videos. I first met him in Oregon below, when we were hiking below the Three Sisters Mountains. And I met him and his brother, and we just talked briefly, a couple minutes, when I was hiking by myself out there. And then I met him again when I was getting ready to come into Cascade Locks, so when I was almost done with Oregon, and he recognized me and I didn't recognize him, and we talked a little bit then, and obviously I knew I remembered him, and we had talked about, oh, we should hike the Goat Rocks area. He was trying to figure out how to do that, and I was like, well, I'm going on ahead, and maybe we'll see each other. And of course we didn't. But now ran across him again, and if you watched any of these videos in the past, how I just think that's so cool. There's just some people that you see one time, you never see them again, but there are just some people that you just keep crossing paths with over and over, and it's so neat. And so we shared our stories of Goat Rocks and enjoying that, and then yeah, just talked a little bit about things, and get to know a little more about each other, where we're from and what we do, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, now we're hiking on, and he's still sitting back in the shade, so I don't know if we'll see each other again, but that was pretty cool. So if Maximus, if you ever manage to see this video, it's great to meet you and talk to you, and good luck with everything. We just realized that 6 miles ago exactly, we went over the 2,600 mile mark on the PCT. But we didn't see any markers or anything to prompt us, and nobody had made any stone 2600s or anything on the ground that we saw. So anyway, probably that's because there aren't very many people up here, who are actually finishing. And also, the trail's 2655, so when you get to 2600, you're kind of just like, dude, I want to finish. I don't think people are stopping to build little signs much. But anyway, 2600, woohoo! Good morning. We are just getting up. Found a good tent spot next to a little creek here, and had a really good night's sleep. And here we go. There's so much timber down in this area this morning, and that we were going through for probably a couple hours last night. I mean, it's just everywhere you look. So much down. Hard to know why. Certainly doesn't look like it's fire related or anything, so maybe there was a wind event here a couple years back or something. But they've done a remarkable job of keeping the trail clear for us, all the volunteer maintenance people. The sun will be on us soon. Or climb back up to 7,000 feet. 2.5 miles to go. Alright, well, I'm up here. That was a pretty long climb, and it was just nothing but switchbacks all the way up this same mountain. I mean, just powering up that side just for whatever, 5 miles. Anyway, beautiful up here, and this has got a little bit of a top to it, so I'm gonna go sit up here for a bit and see if I can find some shade and rest up. I'm just chilling out here, powering up, and getting ready to start again. And I just realized, so I looked to double check, but I am almost exactly 3/5 the way done with the trail now. So it's exciting. But I still have 2/5 to go. That's a long way. So it's kind of cool to hit those milestones, though. All right, well, here's what's on the other side after reaching the top. Beautiful valley down there, and it looks like we'll be going around this thing here and ending up over there. You can see the trail going across, so get more views from over there. Here we go. We were off trail to get water because we didn't want to carry a ton of water up that last big climb, 3,000 feet. And the next water from here is like another 6 miles. So anyway, we would have had to carry a lot of water up there. So anyway, we found this little spring and we'll fill up here, get back on trail. That gentleman in the background, I probably missed him, but I think you'll see him here in just a second coming down the trail. His name is Richard Murray. His trail name is Wild On. And he just gave us an apple, a sunrise apple from his orchard. And we talked to him for a little bit. Really nice, interesting guy. Pretty cool what happens on the trail, who you meet. Shortly before we met the gentleman back there that gave us the apple, we met a woman whose trail name is Grocery. And she actually just finished hiking the whole PCT northbound recently, and was just coming back out to do this little section because she thought it was beautiful. So anyway, we talked with her for quite a while too. She was a character, and she recommended that we go somewhere to a hostel called the Lion's Den, I think, or something. Said it was great. She's actually the second person that's told us that. So we're not going to go there because we're hiking, but we're getting really close to Hart's Pass, which is where Lion's Den is, and it's also why we're seeing people out here now coming the other way, because they're stopping at the parking lot and hiking in. It's only a few miles away, 4 or 5 miles from here, so. We've been looking out at this view and hiking from back there and getting closer and closer to the ridge here. You can see it's just right there. I could scramble up there if I wanted to, but up here, we're coming right up to it, and I'm guessing it will be amazing on the other side, just like it is over here. So let's see. Well, we're about to see what we can see. Here's the view that we have right now all around us. trail. Here's the other side of the ridge. Absolutely beautiful. So we're heading down the other side now from the pass, which was right up there. You can see a road down there, and you can kind of see a road right over there, just along the tops of the trees. But anyway, what we're coming up on, still 3 or 4 miles away, I think, but what we're coming up on is Hart's Pass. And why Hart's Pass matters to anyone is because it's really the last place that you can enter and exit the PCT before you hit Canada. So a lot of people have skipped this whole section that we've hiked since Tehican. Some of them have just skipped part of it and they came on a little bit behind us. Some people are literally just getting on here at Hart's Pass and going forward, just hiking the 30 miles up to the border and calling it a day. The other thing is, when you get to the northern terminus, which is, you know, in the middle of nowhere, on the border of the United States and Canada, you have 2 options. If you brought your passport, and if you completed their permitting process, which you have to do online 8 weeks ahead or so, and you received your permit, then you can pass into Canada. You go across the border to Manning Park, which they have like a resort there and stuff, but that doesn't really matter. You just go across and then hitch into Vancouver and figure out how to get out from there, you know, take a flight or a bus or whatever. We'll probably be taking a train down to Portland so we can get back on the trail and do some more stuff like we've already talked about. But lots of people do not do that. They get to the border, they turn around, they hike back 30 miles to Hart's Pass. And then they get off there, you know, arrange a ride or something, hitch into some town, but figure out a way then to get into maybe like Seattle and then head home from there or whatever they're going to do. So there you go, Hart's Pass. We'll be there soon. All right, so here we are at Hart's Pass, and just a little campground and some toilets. Nothing else really for us to, you know, be able to utilize. Looks like there's a guard station there, and there's the trail we just walked in on, and we just walk right down here to the right, and there's the trail out, so we will head on. Well, this is the first time with all these fires this year that we have actually been able to see one of them. Well, this is most likely the last wilderness that we will come into before crossing the border. We're only, gosh, trying to think, maybe 30 miles, not even 30 from the border, but 30 from the end, you know, in Manning Park over in Canada, and less than that from the border for sure. Probably 20 from the border, something like that. Anyway, it's pretty cool because just in the last, I'd say, hour or so, we started crossing paths with all these people. Because if you think about it, Hart's Pass is the place where the people who finish and are not going into Canada are coming back to. So at this time of day, we're getting all the people who came up here last night, tented somewhere up here, and then got up this morning, hiked to the border, turned around, hiked back to Hart's Pass. So there's a whole bunch of people trying to get to Hart's Pass, presumably so they can try to get picked up tomorrow morning and taken into town. So kind of neat. We're seeing all these people and saying congratulations, and they're telling us congratulations for what we're about to do tomorrow. So kind of cool. I found a nice little tent spot. Sat right there on those rocks and had dinner. And as you can see, the smoke from the fire is filling the valley down there. Tomorrow when we take off, the trail's just right down there, and we'll just go that way, and then we'll head off that way. So we're not heading towards the fire, which is several ranges over that way. So I don't think we have anything to be concerned about or anything, but unfortunately we may be breathing a little smoke tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully not. Good night.